There was a new set of boulders put up yesterday, which was Tuesday the 17th, consisting of a V1, V2, a V3, 3 V4s, 2 V5s, a V6, a V7, V8, V9, and then an ungraded comp route, so big range in the overhanging section. In this video, gonna do the V2s to the V6s I try, and then share some beta, hopefully some tips for those that are gonna try it. And these should be up for about 8 weeks, I believe. Yeah, so if you're around, give them a go. So this first climb is a V2. Typically when I'm warming up, I'll go get some 2s in, 3, then go to 4s. If it's a new set, I'll try to do all the lower grades before moving on to the harder ones. Big holds on this V2. Nothing too out of the ordinary for the grade. Next up is the pink V3. So always start with some route reading. At least give you some idea of where you're going. Going into it blind, you could end up missing some things like feet or mixing up which hand to go first. Surprisingly, this V3 felt a little bit harder than the green V4 next to it. Like this undercling sequence, even though they're really good holds. I do prefer a heel if I could get one. Alright, here is the V3 next. Again, route reading to start. You'll notice all these feet out here. So what that tells me is body position wise, feet are going to start on that side. Then it'll be easier to move the left hand up. Definitely smaller holds than the pink, which makes sense for the grade. There's Jason blocking the camera. I'll be out of the way in a second. But pretty straightforward climb. Feet exactly where you need them. Here, definitely go right hand first. Jason was saying he went left first. So that one I skipped, which made coming in right hand harder. Up next is this red V4. Very slopey. So I was reading it beforehand, and one thing I saw, people were using this one after this guy. But when I read it, I saw this hand is like super jug. And then positioning wise, you have this foot really good. So I was thinking just go straight to this hold with your right hand, and then coming up here, left hand crossing through. That's at least what I thought going into it, and then it did work out that way. Maybe a little bit of a balancing match, but there is a foothold out left that you could probably use with the left foot and drop knee to get the right or left hand up. Up next is this yellow V4 with brand new holds that the gym just got. Some cool slopey dual text ones. Bunch of heels on this one for me. I typically prefer like to do a heel versus being toe down. One thing in terms of like movement that might help some people, you'll notice with this climb and definitely other climbs, lower grade, if you're trying to move a hand, whatever side that is, so if I'm trying to move my right hand, I'm gonna really try to make sure that right foot is solid. So if we watch this one again, in order to move my left hand up, I get this left heel. And then to move this right hand up, I get the right heel. Match it. Then again, get the left heel for the left hand. So something to think about if you're trying to move your right hand, maybe make sure that right foot is solid. Next up is a V5, this orange one. This one I did not flash. Eventually got it. There's two different betas we figured out on this one. One might have been a break, making it definitely easier than the other way. So this is the failed attempt. Pretty physical first couple moves, at least on this go. Big right hand up. The sloper has like some good in-cut parts, but not the best on this side. And I was thinking to go left hand up to that undercling, but definitely a bad decision since there's no feet high enough to really step into it. So I'm just struggling here trying to figure out how to move my left hand until I drop off. So I didn't film it, but I practiced the top sequence two ways. First way was matching this pinch by going right hand and then left hand cross, and then coming out to the sloper, which worked. And then this way, which you're about to see, is where I'm gonna skip that match and go left hand straight to that this slopey pinch with a big drop knee, which definitely felt way easier for me. Yeah, but even doing this first sequence a couple times, it already feels easier than the first attempt. So for this drop knee, right foot pressure, definitely less physical on the left arm than this next attempt where I do it a different way, which might be the intended way. Definitely good to try climbs multiple times, see what beta works best. So this way, use a big throw right. This is how I did it the first time. I think it just like feels low percentage, and then cross over. That section of the hold is really good. But then like the uncross feels really physical. So the drop knee definitely saves some energy for me. So this purple pocket one, I saw Jason do a couple attempts, and then just something I do when it's this low to the ground, I'll just basically read it with my feet on the ground, figuring what feels right, putting my hands in the pockets, and then seeing where my body might end up. Not usually too fond of pockets, just because definitely work your hand in a different way. So here I'd put like a toe in. Eric did a heel, and he said it felt way better. It definitely looked better when he went to his left hand, because it felt like I had a lot of weight on the right hand, but made it work. Really good pocket there, full hand. This one I was able to like barely squeeze 3 fingers in just to take some weight off. And then from here, easy. One thing to point out would be right here. This back flag helped a lot for me to get my left hand up. You might even be able to use that hold to toe in a little bit just to get some more weight off your right in order to move the left hand up. All right, last climb, I didn't film my attempt on it, first attempt, but this is me doing the top half. So actually when I first did it, I wasn't actually thinking I would climb it. Jason was working on the first couple moves, so I just wanted to feel the first move. And then I just kept going. Probably should have stopped. I ended up getting to this little rail and then trying to get the left hand out, but once I hit it, didn't feel good. So this is just the top sequence. I was debating if I should go right hand, which seemed better of an actual hold, but the feet weren't positioned in a good way to move right initially when I was trying it. So I just went straight for the left, blocked, so really had to crimp hard on it before going right hand. And then once you get that right hand, it's good. You got a really good foothold to get to the top. That was it. Definitely going to try that V6 again. I think if I could nail certain moves with less effort, I'll be able to get through that one. Next video should be some route setting behind the scenes on ropes.